Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. John Potter Prestwicks, Director of Player Development. We get to be outside today. Actually, not yet. Maybe a couple weeks though. It's coming soon. I had to be outside today because I want to talk about putting. Today in reading greens, really tough to do inside the simulator when everything's flat, okay? You gotta use your imagination. A lot of us don't have one of those, myself included. So, here we are on hole number 9. Grass is super shaggy, hasn't been cut all winter. We're not even open yet. But I want to look at this, okay? If anybody knows hole number 9, this green is pitched pretty severely back to front towards water here on my left. We're going to look at this putt. It's maybe a 20-foot putt, 15, 20-foot putt. And we're going to try to read this putt accurately today. So, you may have heard missing a putt low side of the hole is the amateur side, the low side, the pro side being the high side. And let's talk about why that is. Amateurs, not all, I work with a ton of really, really quality amateur golfers. A lot of golfers, fewer pros, have trouble under reading putts. Here's why. When we putt through various methods, maybe you use aim point and you're straddling the line, or maybe you're just feeling it with your feet, you're seeing it from behind, you'll see a lot of people squat down. Maybe you're a plumb bobber. Anybody plumb bob out there? You're taking in the elements around you to figure out what this ball's going to do, okay? How it's going to roll to the hole. Very rarely does it roll perfectly straight to the hole. This one very obviously does not. The green is tilted very much this way. It's going to turn left even on these long shaggy greens, okay? So, here is my line to the hole. Okay, that's a straight line from my ball to the target, to the ultimate target, which is that hole. I can't tell if it's perfectly straight. Let's step back here. All right, that ball to that hole on that line. If everything were perfectly flat, which we know it's not, if everything were perfectly flat, that's my line, okay? That's not a line we're going to use when we putt here. Here's another thought people have. Well, I'm going to start that ball. I see the high point of this break, right? They're imagining the break turning left, and they visualize this arc. Those of us with a good imagination, they see, okay, that ball's going to go up here and then it's going to turn left. So that's the highest point on that semicircle, on that arc. Let's aim right here at that high point. So I'm going to put a tee with me. I do have a tee with me. I'm going to imagine this putt breaking, and I'm midsummer in my mind, probably won't break that much today. So I'm going to say the high point of that break is going to be somewhere around here. So I'm going to place it the furthest that ball will ever get away from the straight line that we laid down earlier. So the straight line to the hole. At what point is that ball going to be furthest from this line? So I imagine, you know, as it's here, it's only 3-4 inches away. It's going to apex here, right? So that's a good 14 or so inches of break. Here's the problem. This is where people aim. They're going to say, okay, I'm going to aim at the high point. This is why people miss on the low side. You may have read the putt correctly in your mind, seen it perfectly, and even been confident standing over it, this is exactly right, and then miss it low, because I don't want my putter, my body and my swing aligned to the high point. Okay, now, in the first half of the putt is rolling with the most pace it's ever going to have in that roll, in that stroke, okay? Which means it's going to break less. I get that. But it is going to break some by the time it gets to that high point, which means I don't aim at high point. If I aim at the high point, I'm going to miss low of the high point because it's already going to have turned by that point. So, again, this is the target line, or I'm sorry, the from the ball to the target. There's my high point. If I'm going to hit high point, I need to aim right, because that ball's not going to travel in a perfectly straight line from itself currently to that point. It's going to start curving towards high point, even though high point is the furthest it's ever going to get away from the start at the target line. I need to aim maybe 2-3 inches to the right of my high point. Does that make sense? It's really complicated and it's really simple all at the same time. I need to aim further right, further up the hill in this case, always further up the hill, then the high point would indicate. If I aim at the high point, which I'll try to do, maybe I'll use a line on the ball, I'll line up that ball at the high point. That's a little right high point. Okay. There we go. That looks. This ball is lined perfectly at that tee I placed in the ground. That's a high point. I'm going to line myself best I can, stroke it best I can. You see how that wanted to turn away right away. If you'd been down here with the camera angle looking at that tee, that ball would have started at the tee, but it very quickly turns off that line. What I need to do instead, that high point might be correct. I need to be right of the high point in order for my ball to actually roll over that high point. And let's see it now. I'm aiming 3-4 inches to the right of high point. See, I played it a little bit high and it stayed a little bit high, but that high point is probably about right. I need to aim to the right of high point to get there. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, please email me. I want you to read greens better than you are. I want to help you play better golf. So, if you have any questions about green reading, putting, chipping, full swing, course management, mental game, I'm here to help. Good luck.